Just load it up.
Just go live. Come on, man. Just load it up.
Oh, we're not live yet, so.
My teeth hurt.
Why do your teeth hurt?
I don't know. I think I finally took too many cold and flu meds. There's bees in my teeth, man. I can feel the bees in my teeth, man. Yeah, I hope it's not that.
Alright, we are live.
Alright.
Esto livo.
There's YouTube.
There it is. The Instagrizzles. I'm gonna keep saying Instagrizzles. It's gonna catch on.
It's not, for me, it's not gonna catch on.
Oh, for sure it will.
Live on the Instagram.
Yeah, my restream software is frozen, but it seems to be okay on Instagram.
I probably shouldn't have done that.
What'd you do?
I did like super wide peace signs.
Throw out them
I swear to God, super wide peace signs.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah, it's not showing that we're live on well, I mean, it's probably going to show eventually. It's just going to take a second. Oh, there we go. I know, but like more so I can try and grab it.
Hello, boys from Ross from Wisconsin.
We had Cooper asking, "What's for lunch, boys?"
I had homemade lamb chops and pasta for lunch because I'm a bougie like that.
I had leftover fried rice.
That sounds really good, though.
It was alright. It had some like orange sauce still in the container.
Did you make it yourself, or did you grab? Where'd you grab it from?
It was Red Tea.
Oh, I love Red Tea House.
Yeah, so I DoorDashed it yesterday while I was working.
Okay, yeah, I love Red Tea House. That's fucking delicious. What?
Yeah, throwing up super wide peace signs. Just super wide.
Don't worry
super
about it.
Wide peace signs.
About it. What are you looking for, Ross?
Just making sure everything's coming through right. I'm gonna
Great Bush, hello there, my dog. Hello. Slappy, my cuddle buddy. Love you too, buddy. That's what I was having for lunch. Pink Taco. You know, there is actually a place in Chicago called Pink Taco, and I've had it before, and it's actually really good. We used to have it. They have a food cart, and they had a burrito, and it was like the best like immediate burrito to grab during working hours. Oh, I miss that place. I'll wait for some of these folks to come on in. What are you looking at?
I'm making sure.
That's not safe for work.
Yes, it is.
You got to put that away. You can't look at that for work.
Well, I'm trying to like confirm who it is. Okay, yeah, that is Ross.
Yeah, it is Ross.
Well, I'm confirming. You know, I'm making sure that I was right.
Oh. Also, excuse me if I'm coughing a lot this lunchtime live. I have not been feeling the best for the past couple of days. Went to MSW this weekend, and it kicked my ass. Barker Bombs, it's alright, blood, for the love of the gang. I miss Mud Mountain. I don't miss that at all, Eric. We'll talk about it, but that was the hardest, I think, infill I've ever done. Now I have MSW along because of it. So I'm super stoked about that. But let's get this show on the road. Hello, welcome to the Amp Lunchtime Live. You're joined by myself, Logan, and
Talon here.
Today we're going to be talking about whatever we end up talking about. And we had MSW this weekend, which was awesome, except for the hardest infill I think I've ever done in my entire life. That was brutal. We have the giveaway at 1:30, which is the Crytek P90, which is over there. And then, same stuff, different day. So let's get this started. I got to cough again. Excuse me.
Ross, I did not forget you. I'm just looking at Instagram usernames, and I'm like, I know that's a Wisco boy. Which of the Wisco boys is it? So I haven't forgotten you. It was just I needed to remember who is whose username.
Oh, I want to go back to bed.
I mean, you could.
You just leave the screen. Bye. You're doing it by yourself now. No.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Alrighty, let's see here. When y'all gonna get tag and shock rounds in stock and manage to snag one of the last 2 adapters and some dummy rounds? We actually got them back in, unless they're already out of stock, which would be kind of wild, but also at the same time, I would not put that past us because those are super popular. Let's see, what are the chalk rounds? Peckers? Paladins?
The Paladins.
Paladins. They are already out of stock. Yeah. So we're hoping to get another shipment in here in the next month. Just because the issue now is like with the tariffs, it's a little bit different. We're trying to work around some things. But hopefully within the next month or so, we'd be getting another shipment of tag and stuff, which would be the foam and the chalk rounds, which would be great. Hugh Mac, how we doing tonight? I'm doing great.
Ross did correct me. He's not technically from Wisconsin.
Hey, close enough. He's looped into the group of individuals that lives up there. It's fine. I heard the Rustguard rifle kicked ass. Rustguard rifles? I genuinely don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
No, I think that is that's reference from MSW this past weekend.
Oh, Rustguard rifles. Yeah, they did. If that's the reference, then yeah, they did slap our booty cheeks around a little bit. Do you guys have a favorite BB weight and or brand? I'm partial to BLS 32s because I can do 3.2 tracers or regular 3.2s, and my gun just runs perfectly on both of them, so that I don't have to worry about adjusting the weight for the daytime and the nighttime. That's my personal preference.
Kind of depends on what I'm running. Most of the time, I'm going to go with the Elite Force brand BBs just because they're very inexpensive. I can get them in almost every BB weight, bio, non-bio, tracer. And if I go something heavier, it's HPA, high power airsoft BBs.
My all-time favorite has to be BioVal .27 BBs, and the OGs will remember those. Those were the good ones back in the day.
I will say BLS tracer BBs, those are my go-to for tracer BBs.
Oh, yeah, those are awesome. Oh my god, I'm wheezing.
Also, what's up, Chili?
Chili?
Yeah.
Do you have blah, 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 blah. I heard a particular podium boy did good. What's up, Logie Bear? Hello. Greetings from Chile. That's awesome. Hello. Is that who you're referencing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, because we have a buddy from a team, and his call sign is Chili.
Oh,
That's why I was like, you know Chili? What?
No, I'm just that far ahead in the comments.
Sorry that I'm trying to like read down and stuff like that. Any expectation to get the new Kickstart rounds they just announced? We have none as of yet. That is something that they're still working on getting here in the States because obviously the EU has different restrictions when it comes to tagging products and like a lot of other airsoft products versus what the United States has to follow by, especially when it comes to tag-ins because like of how they're designed. Once we have an update, we'll obviously let everyone know. We just have to go ahead and give them some time to figure out what we're going to do with those. I'm editing my doc right now, and my god, is it a nightmare? I have so much footage. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, that's a nightmare. I'd send a clip to us when we're done. I would love to see it. EOS, did you do the 1/3 platoon bushwhack up the power lines? I believe, yeah, we did because we didn't follow the power lines to get up to. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about MSW in the first place. Holy smokerinos.
Well, this is all you. You're the one that went.
Yeah. So, to answer your question, Eric, we didn't go up the power lines directly. We went through all the rivers and creeks and stuff like that, all the way up to right next to the power lines, dropped our rucks, and then did that little night raid. And then we bushwhacked while we fought up that mountain that was covered in bramble. And that was probably one of the worst things I've ever done to my body. I'm still, like, itchy and cut up and stuff from it. It was unpleasant. But as far as MSW goes, that was fun. But again, the hardest thing I think I've ever done when it came to airsoft, because it was just a ruck and a half. I mean, we were going up these trails that were made by streams, so it was like rocky and muddy, and then water's coming down because it rained for the past like 2 days previous, and then rained earlier that day, and then we get up to where where we were going, and we made a wrong turn at one point, so we had to go back the other way, and we get all the way up. Cool, sweet, awesome. Now go fight these people. All right, we'll go fight these people. But it's an entire, like, mountainside covered in bramble. So we're going up these mountainsides covered in bramble, just not able to really move, getting our shit chewed up. And that was just insane. I will say, besides the rain that happened during day Friday, which was before we went out to the field, and besides the rain that happened on Saturday night, late at night when we were sleeping, Really good weather, actually, because it was 80 degrees on Saturday, so I got to sleep my dogs out. Took a nap in the middle of the day, which was nice. And we did a lot of probing attacks as NATO this time around. We didn't really do any crazy frontal assaults, and we missed out on doing our one last big hurrah push at the very, very end because we just got stuck behind a platoon that was way too slow, and we just didn't make it up to them in time. Other than that, I think overall, the weekend for MSW was really, really good. I don't ever want to ruck that far ever again in that sort of weather and that was just oy vey. And I feel now I'm sick because of it.
Well, it sounds like a lot of the other guys that ran with you also have a sickness happening just from running too hard and pushing themselves too hard.
I mean, we had 3 or 4 people puke on infill. Like, I think Ross might be able to pick it up on some of the recordings that we have from my night vision recorder, but you'll hear just puking, and it was we've never seen that happen on an infill for MSW. And it was funny because even at the end, we were all talking. We're like, were we just a bunch of babies? Or was it really this hard? There's no way it was this hard. And then a lot of the guys, a lot of the cadre and stuff at the end, like the end speech thing, was like, that was the hardest infill we've done. I'm like, okay, so we weren't being babies. It just, in totality, really sucked. Yeah, I think if it didn't rain on Saturday night, later at night, and drop 25 degrees, I, along with other people, would probably be feeling just fine. But, like, man, that was a brutal weekend. 10 out of 10 would definitely put my body through that again. Because I'm a masochist like that sometimes. You should definitely go to the next MSW with us.
Nah, it sounds like nah. Like I said last week, I would do the hardest immersive gate guard shit.
I'm just saying, I think you'd have fun. Okay, go to a mount facility with us. Like if they did Shali again at Mutzi, I think you'd like that because
there's so many gates to guard.
I know. Well, yeah, there is so many gates to guard. That and like, I think you would actually have fun at something like that. Maybe the woods ball stuff, not so much, but definitely that one. I will say one last thing on the MSW sort of stuff. The amount of first timers we had on NATO was kind of insane. Like one of our good friends, Hugh, he was with us, and that was his first time. But like he's been an Airsofter for years, and he does backpacking, so I wasn't really worried about him. But the amount of other first timers that we saw, that I'm like, this is the MSW you chose to be your first one. All right, champ. But I will also go ahead and say the amount of first timers I saw make it to the end of the game as well. Like I'm like, dude, you look like hammered poop. But you know what? Hats off to you, sir. Like I'm happy that like you made it. I'm like, man, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, E-House also commented, and then we'll go back to some other comments.
I blame Kenny.
He's blaming Kenny.
I want to blame Kenny. I do. But like he has pneumonia, or had pneumonia, or still has pneumonia. So like maybe he was just in a delirium-infused state due to the drugs he was taking, if he was taking anything. But you know what? I'm gonna blame Kenny. I hope this video doesn't make its way to him because I love you, Kenny.
So I want to say, Gray Bush, we're not forgetting you. We're gonna finish off some comments on the YouTube side, and then we'll get to you. I know you've commented twice.
Yeah, we'll get to the Instagram comments here in a second here. But yeah, that's about it for the MSW experience. Once again, lovely times. Legit question, boys. I'm in the process of building a jack in a VFC Avalon VR16 body with a KWA gearbox for the jack. Interesting choice. What hop-up, bucking, nub, barrel, etc. would you guys suggest? Set up for indoor-outdoor. Happy medium indoor-outdoor for $370, $375. So, honestly, stock hop-up, edgy brass. If you're looking to keep it good quality and relatively cheap, stock hop-up, edgy brass, 70-degree Maple Leaf 2018 bucking. If you want to patch it, you can, like a flat hop or R-hop patch, you can. You don't necessarily need to. And then the Omega tensioner nub, I think would be a good just overall build. I'm not too keen on going to the max hop-up, especially because you're using a KWA gearbox inside of a VFC body. I would just keep it your stock hop-up unit and then those other parts, and that really keep it, unless you have something else to suggest.
Yeah, so if you're going to stay with the KWA gearbox, which is going to be a nightmare and is not going to align properly with the VFC spec of low receiver, if you are going to stay with that,
the max hop-up or something similar will probably be a better option, just because it's a amalgamation now of two different spec of internal versus external components. So something that's going to be a little bit more wider spec, like a max, or maybe even something crazy like a Lone X or something, is going to help better bridge an odd spec KWA gearbox to the odd spec VFC.
Yeah, you have a point.
And after that, edgy, promy inner barrel, something that's going to be stainless steel. I like stainless steel inner barrels just because with temperature fluctuations from indoor to outdoor, you're going to see less bending or potential bending of that inner barrel. And then maple leaf, something like a 75, 70 degree, and then use normal nub. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Moving over to the Instagram side of things, but I got a platform MVP for Cadre on the Rusky side. Nice.
Well, there was an earlier question that you missed
I'm
from
looking.
Graybush.
When it comes to AEG, do you guys prefer SSG or DSG gears? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Um.
Single sector gear.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Yeah, I really have no there's not really. I don't. When it comes to DSG versus SSG, I think, in my eyes, it's more of a personal preference. I I can't speak.
Prefer.
I prefer SSG over DSG just as a personal side of things. I mean, you can get DSGs and SSGs to perform pretty on par with each other, so I don't know.
Yeah. I've gotten regular
tomatoes and tomatoes.
I've gotten regular 18-to-1 gears up to nearly 30 rounds per second on full auto, just with the best shim job with an M90 spring with a super high torque motor, high tension, high strength build components. So you can build them. It takes a little bit more experience and know how to set your internals up for that performance, but you can get very, very good AEG single sector gear builds. They're not as fast on full auto, like the crazy, clickbaity videos, but for everyone else playing Airsoft, single sector gear is going to do the work that you need.
Definitely. Cool. Quickly, Barker Bombs came back with some updates on that. Much appreciated. I only had the kid away from an old DSG build, speaking of which. But I sold all the other parts of the gearbox, and everyone is selling that VFC gearbox for what I've seen, 150, 200 just for a gearbox. Yeah, VFC gearboxes are just solid. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm kind of surprised they're selling for $150 to $200 for just the gearbox. But
check a couple of different shops and sellers. Even try Hop Up. There's a couple of people who might be selling older gearbox if they're going with like a max HPA gearbox.
Yeah.
I know that those are probably a lot more popular and prevalent, so you might be able to scoop up just the VFC shell for pretty inexpensive.
And then also look at other websites that might have parts boxes for sales, like Boneyard parts and stuff, because it's a Boneyard item. You don't need it to work. You just need it to be a one piece because it's a gearbox. Move back over to Instagram. I'm in my doc right now. My buddy got Platoon MVP. Yep. Minnesota Airsoft Convention. Yes, what about it? Was there something about the Minnesota Airsoft Convention, or are we going? Which I don't know. I think we are sending a raffle this year. I don't think we are going.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
Yes, but we can always go ahead and double check. Typically, if it's up on our website, that's when we would be going. But I know for a fact we will be showing our support at the very least for that event. Graybush also asked, "What's your worst airsoft gun you have ever worked on?" For himself personally, it was a toss-up between a JG M14 and an AK M60V. You go first while I think, because I have tech experience. I do not have as much tech experience as you do, but I have a couple off the top of my head that I have just do not like.
So I have
you go first.
Two.
Well, you go. I gotta grab my inhaler because my lungs don't work.
Go for it. So the worst one to date that I can think of is going to be the Cyma M14 EBR. I don't know if it was an older series of Cyma M14, but to get that thing apart and back together in one complete piece, the amount of screws, the amount of springs, the amount of pins that went into the gearbox and the body by itself had me so confused and perplexed as far as what screws have to go where. And I tried so hard, it was like an explosion of springs and pins that came from this M14 EBR, and then trying to remember and recall all of the screws that have to go back in a certain manner in a certain order. So I would have to disassemble and reassemble it multiple times just to make sure and guarantee that I put all of the screws in the correct positions. Otherwise, I would get it together, look over to the side of my tech mat, and then I'm like, frick, I have more screws. I don't know where these screws came from or where they went. And I would take it apart, put it back together, and I'm like, there's different screws now that haven't been put together right. So I personally don't like the EBR series just because of all of the screws. That one is the oldest one that I've worked on and hated doing, and then the most recent one being the VFC MPX. There is a very specific technique and method in order to get the imitation bolt release out and then back in, attached to the gearbox and be able to slide it into the receiver, because the frame width is much thinner than a normal like AR spec of receiver. So the MPXs are much thinner and it's much harder to get that imitation bolt release to fit correct. So that is like literally like a Chinese like puzzle chain thing in order to get and fit correctly. So I personally don't like working on the MPXs either.
Our UPS rep brought us free pizza for lunch.
Darn right they should have.
I walked out to go get my lungs don't work stick, and I just see boxes of pizza. I'm like, why do we have free pizza? Like, I just ate lunch, but I'm not gonna say no to like second lunch.
Yeah.
Crazy. So wait, you said M14.
M14 and the VFC MPX.
Okay, cool. So mine personally would be the what company made that? You know the Tech 9s that came out?
Yes.
The AG ones? That.
Yeah.
That piece of garbage. So I had 2 of them, and I built them to be like this crazy high-speed, oh my god, I can't breathe, bullet hose, essentially. And they were great, except when they kept blowing up. And it wasn't due to the high ROF that it was. I think it was due to just them not, like, you took it apart, and you put it back together. I even put it back together stock, and the gears were shipping stock, even though I put them back together the exact same way every single time. And he just kept stripping, even with stock parts. So then I was like, screw it, I'll just go ahead and upgrade it. And I upgraded it. Still did not work out well. So that gun, that pair of guns has miffed me for years. I've been, every once in a while, like, I go back to, like, try to tinker with it and be like, oh, maybe I can get it to work this time. Nothing. I don't know what it is. That's probably the worst one I've had to tinker with. What brand gun was that? I had a customer at my last Airsoft job bring in and drop off to our tech a Crossman top feed Airsoft gun. Like one of those plastic ones, but it wasn't a clear one. So the guy who's intaking it didn't see that it was one of the top feeds. He just saw like a black M4. He's like, all right, whatever. And we got it. We're like, okay. And I don't think I've ever seen a plastic gear set before in my entire life.
Yeah.
Until that point, I was like, oh, okay. So we're trying to like replace it with like gears, and the customer didn't want to spend any money. So we're like, okay. So we had to like find gears that fit from our Boneyard gear set. So it was a Crossman gun that had like some plastic gears and some metal gears that I didn't want to get together properly. We're like, that I didn't work on. I just saw it and I was like, that must be hell in a handbasket to go ahead and work with. So
Yeah.
I personally don't like tucking on guns, especially AEGs, because they're like puzzles, and I just, my fingers, I can't do it. It's just my brain. I would throw it at the wall and pay him to do it, to be honest with you guys. Let's see here. But still on Instagram. Totally forgot today's the P90 giveaway. Yes, it is. It's sitting over there pointing at his head right now. Gave my buddy an Airsoft. He runs defense mechanisms, plate care. What M4 would you recommend him for an AEG to start off? Combat machines.
Yeah.
G&G combat machine.
There's one recommendation in there. CM16.
Yeah, Arcturus M4 is also really, really good too. Even like VFC M4s, like VFC M4s out the box are awesome. And then with a couple of small modifications, they can be insane rippers. So I think those 3 would be top 3 that I would even recommend.
Yeah, if you can afford a VFC, go with the VFC, because those things are going to last a very, very, very long time. If he's like just starting out, the G&G Raider 2.0 is usually my go-to as far as the lowest price point for like a very decent, well-built polymer to take it to milsims or like a little more hardcore. If he was looking for something as inexpensive as possible, Lancer Tactical Gen 3s. Those have newer like programmable MOSFETs. They are like a weaker polymer, but they can flex and bend pretty well. So those would be my 3.
Tom's here. Hi, Tom. Do you have the MSW lung as well? I hope you do, because my God, this is the worst. Geez, yep. Let's see here. Sounds like it sucks worse than a fish out of water. If you're talking about my lungs, then yes. Did Logan cut his hair? Yes. Yes. I have less hair now. This has been cut like this for like the last 2 lives. Come on, Ross, get it together. You gotta notice me more. What are y'all's thoughts and suggestions for blank fire grenades? Well, you and me both have a crap load experience with these. You have the Bang 22, which honestly I think is probably one of the best blank fire grenades that has been created, except for the TRMR, which unfortunately we can't get anymore. That has been not around for the longest time, but I think the Blank 22 is awesome. I think other blank fire grenades
The
are
Tectonic
Quake.
The Quake? Yeah.
Tectonic Innovations Quake.
Yes.
Yes, it's a riff off the TRMR because TRMR whatever ATF can't have it. I like blank fire grenades. I do. My whole thing though with blank fire grenades that if you're using them at a like a milsim to not, because if you're using them at a milsim and you're stuck on a position to use a grenade, I don't expect to get that grenade back, especially if it's a blank fire grenade, because I'm afraid somebody's going to go ahead and snag it and walk away with it. Sticky fingers. Exactly.
Yeah.
If it's at like an open play, it's a little bit different because you can throw that and then immediately go get it. And if you can't immediately go get it, or if you do immediately go get it and it's gone, well, there's only so many people that it could be a part of, and you can kind of whittle around to get your stuff back.
Yeah, and when you're indoors, you're not going to throw that grenade nearly as far, so it's much easier to just take the time, walk to it, versus milsims. I am overhand hucking some of those grenades.
Oh yeah, like I'm getting as far as I possibly can if I have to.
Yeah. You saw me whipping on that New Orleans.
Oh, dude, you were launching them bows. I was like, Talon, you got an arm? Yeah, sure.
I think they were still blowing up in the air.
Oh yeah, they
within
were
a couple feet.
Yeah,
of
because there's that machine gun nest you're trying to go ahead and get rid of. No, blank fire grenades are good. If you can find Bang 22s, the Airsoft Innovations ones, I would definitely recommend those. Oshi booms are another good one because you can do a couple different blank fire bases like 9mm, 12 gauge, 380 primers, and some other ones. What's a super common one that we see all the time? What's that one that keeps getting tossed at us at MK?
Yeah, that's the pyrotechnic Tectonic Innovations.
There we
Quake.
go. Yeah, the Quake.
Yeah.
That's probably the most common one out here. I don't know how common they are to get in the U.S. right now because of all the other fun stuff going on, but those are... Yeah, there are a couple companies. ASG just dropped their blank fire grenade that we carry.
Yeah,
But they
Frag.
but they take 22 specific primers. They don't take the nail gun blanks.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you have to worry about is making sure they're correct blanks. But they're good. Just, I would not recommend using that at milsim unless you are not caring about getting them back. Personally. Let's jump over to, well, I think I actually missed one right here. One sec.
about the Polar Star. Is the Polar Star a good go-to?
Well, no, is this Lalo Airsoft asks HPA, GBBR, or AEG, and that was before the blank fire grenades. So between those, is Polar Star Jack good beginner or HPA? Oh, yeah.
Jack's a great beginner, HPA.
I would recommend the Jack for absolutely everyone trying to get into HPA first and foremost. But HPA, GBBR, or AEG, depends on what you want to do. I run AEGs and HPA. GBBRs are awesome as well, but if you're in super cold climates, the GBBs might not work well. If you are in super wet climates, the AEGs and GBBs the AEG might not work well. Neither may the AEG, but the GBB is going to work because it's all mechanical. Unless you have a mechanical HPA system, and then you have that. So it really depends on what your level of maintenance you want to have and what exactly you're trying to do with your setup. GBBs are great for realism and just plinking around. They're awesome. HPAs and AEGs are great for absolutely everything as well. But it's super, situation dependent.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd say start with an AEG.
Yeah.
Depending on the AEG, you can convert that to HPA later on down the road. GBBs are fun as an extra side piece rather than something that you're going to be dependent and regularly use.
Unless you're willing to drop like $1,000 in making that thing a regular gun to use, because they are very expensive to keep up, and to get those parts to make it as reliable as an AEG or HPA is like
and to reliably
expensive.
perform as an AEG or
so
HPA.
expensive. Well worth the money, but like it is very expensive. It's a rabbit hole. It's almost expensive getting a custom HPA build, if not more,
Yeah.
depending on what you want.
Later on down the road, I think if you use it regularly, it's going to be more expensive.
Well, yeah, because then you're
Because all the
replacing-
gas,
Mhm.
like the gas
Mhm.
is a huge proponent part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. Unless you get an HPA tapped one, but then at that point you're worrying about the HPA tap wearing down other parts of your gun that green gas typically wouldn't, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, let's
Well,
move over.
we're almost at the 130 mark.
Oh my God, we are almost at the 130 mark.
It is time for our giveaway.
Well, let's do that, and then we'll jump back to the comments. Sorry, my brain's a little fuzzy. NyQuil taken during the day is not the best.
So yes, Masubi Tactical, the giveaway is today. In fact, we are getting to it right now.
Is that thing? Don't point at it, unless the meta gods smack us down.
298 people entered.
Let's go. Who wins it? Who wins it? Who wins it? That's a
We're
hell
still
of a
waiting.
drum roll.
There we go.
Who wins it? I can't see.
Cameron Young, 1994.
Cameron Young, 1994.
1994.
Look at that, you absolute stud. Oh, I wonder if he's watching. I hope he's wondering. I hope
Well,
he's
he
watching.
Ross did an excellent thing. He's screen daring it.
Yeah, well, I hope he's watching so we can shout him out IRL. But there you go, buddy. All right, Cameron. Well, if you are seeing this, awesome, cool. Go ahead and DM us, and we will get you the directions to get that gun out to you. If not, after the live is over, we will go ahead and reach out to you personally as well, and then we will get that set up and get that gun out to you. So congrats. Insert confetti emoji bit.
Hooray!
Well done,
Yeah, there we
Cameron.
go. Can you do that on your end, Ross? Can you like do like a confetti?
I probably could.
You should probably figure that out, because that'd be really cool to get like a Stream Deck confetti button.
Yeah,
Or, like,
I wanna-
other
I wanna
buttons?
do a whole stream deck, trust me.
Please, I'm willing to go halvesies on. Don't you have a Stream Deck of some sort, or
No. I had access
I wanted
to
get
one.
lights
Oh, there we
that
go.
was synced up so I could do like thunder and stuff.
That'd I would love to do
I
that.
want like a bunch of aperture lights up.
We gotta first get the aperture lights.
Yeah, that's step one.
That'd be cool. Okay, back to all the comments. Congrats, Mr. Breadman.
Anything over on the YouTube side of things?
Yes, let's see here. I hate that I hate my glasses. I just have to just. Thank God we got that new vision insurance coming in, right?
Yeah.
Just fucking sitting here, just what do I need to do? Thoughts on the 4 AUD buckings? I tried it at Abcas and my MMG and it seemed good, but was curious about their fitment and performance in a variety of setups. Call sign SMBB said back to Eric, 4UD is pretty solid, doesn't work in everything in my experience, delivers good results when it works generally solid. I don't have any experience with them. Completely, honestly, like I have no experience with them. I'm gonna trust what you said, Eric. If it like is working well with your MMG, good, and as well as call sign SMBB. Like if you are also seeing that it's good, I'll trust you guys, because I've been a Maple Leaf fanboy since day one. So yeah, I mean, do you have any experience with the 4 UAD buckings?
I
or-
haven't messed around with the 4 UAD. Maple Leafs are always like the go-to.
Yeah.
They're the first ones I grabs whenever I have like trouble builds or I'm starting to put someone's build together, just because they're the most easily accessible and I know that they're gonna work and work well.
It's all reliable.
Yeah.
It's all reliable. I also haven't seen anything online saying that the 4 UAD buckings are like bad, or like anything like different. Like typically when how an airsoft gun or airsoft product comes out, everyone either rants or raves about it. I haven't seen any of that online, so I'm gonna go with they're just another good standard around the mill bucking. I think I probably should start swapping out my inner parts to see how things work nowadays. You should probably do the same.
I probably should.
so we can actually answer these questions a little bit better.
I feel like I spend too much time just trying to get different setup of rifles like played through, so I get like experience rather than trying to do independent build components.
Yeah.
Like playing just for these different buckings or playing just for these different hop-up units, stuff like that.
No, I do the same thing. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. My brain train just left the station. It just, you'll see it leave this ear, just to the wind.
One comment from Breadman Airsoft. What do you guys think about the Arcturus ARs?
I think they're good. They're solid. I will say this much: Arcturus has some crazy good fitment when it comes to the external pieces. I mean, at one point, specifically with their PP19s, I know it's not ARs, but with their PP19s, they was having this issue that the latch had to be replaced. So we had to replace the latches on the folding stocks, and the fitment was so damn tight, it was almost impossible to replace them. But when they got, like, when we replaced it and fixed it, they were solid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it follows through with the ARs as well. Like, I think that their fitment is just, it's top-notch, if not some of the better external build qualities I've seen on the market insofar. As far as the internals, pretty standard. I mean, they don't shine above the rest or anything like that I've seen. But, like, overall, I think they're solid ARs and a really great base model if you're looking to, like, throw an HP engine into something or modify them as an AEG as well.
Yeah, I do kind of wish that Arcturus, a company known for their AKs, I do wish that their ARs were more reflective of most ARs that have similar features rather than their Arcturus AK price point. Now, I get that the external features, very nice, very solid. They are going to take more milsim wear and tear than some other brands.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty basic internal components.
Yeah, like I said, nothing to shine. I don't want to say compare them to a combat machine by any means, but they're good. They're solid. So, let's see. E-House and the YouTube side of things. Maple Leafs work great in most of my setups, but in the Lambda and Mark 48 for whatever reason sucked. That's weird. 48 might just be a better fit in the spec hop-up barrel. Yeah, probably. Again, I would love to start testing more like internal components when it comes to like new buckings and stuff that come out. Just because this is a perfect example of it that we just don't have experience with it, but everyone else does. So maybe I'll throw a 4AU U84. I'm just gonna call it a 4U bucking. I'm not.
A 4-wad.
404. Yeah. Yeah, they're now 4-wad buckings from here on out. I'm just gonna throw a 4-wad bucking. Just throw a 4-wad bucking into my setup now and see how it goes. Moving over to the Instagram side of things. Let's see. What are y'all's thoughts and suggestions for blank fire grenades? We just answered that. Somebody mentioned a common response to that. Seen the BFG SWAT blank fire that seems pretty good. It's a mechanical timer and can use various black. I think it's like $90. Yes, I have seen that as well. The BFG SWAT though, it just looks ugly. It's like looks like a pear.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a grenade. It's just like, remember the Avatar grenades?
Yeah.
Imagine if the Avatar grenades went on a Jenny Fit diet.
Yeah.
And like just the waistline of it got slimmed down, and it just the rest. It just looks it does not look like it's not. No. I don't know if that's me being picky, but that's just me being picky. Best beginner HP engine. Again, the Jack. What's your favorite HP engine overall? I had a nickel for every time I got asked that. F2. F2 probably. I feel like it changes every week because I find something else. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not having this many problems with this engine this week. I'm having less problems. I'd say overall the F2 because you have the adjustability of dual and single solenoid. You have all those adjustments you can do. Fits into almost anything. And it just works. The only thing that would be better than that is a Redline N7 Milsim, and I'm partial to them because I used to work with them and I like know and understand the engine pretty well. But I would say the F2 overall, just because it's easy, it's simple, and it just works great.
I would say mine would be the Jack. The simple Jack, some would say.
It's so easy.
Because it's
simple Jack, simple. It took me a second.
Because it is legitimately the shortest, so it gets used the most often for like the unique conversion kits for like the Tokyo Marui MP7 or some of the conversion kits for the VFC MP7, right? So they're just very easy to drop into. The nozzle is like you can just throw it in anything. The nozzle alignment does not need to be perfect. It's still going to shoot.
No, it doesn't.
It's going to shoot well. It's not going to be perfect by any means, by any standards, but it's going to get you out on the field. It's going to get you playing. And it just works. It's just a simple Jack. Little triple.
All I can think is Ben Stiller right now. My daddy. No, that's good. Oh my God.
From Graybush, when it comes to footwear, what is your guys' favorite or go-to street versus hiking?
My favorite streetwear currently right now is the Combat Flip Flops Jump Out Boys. That's a collab between Unsubscribed Podcast and Combat Flip Flops. I'm actually wearing them right. Oh, sweet lordy, Christ almighty. There we go. Thank you. I got it.
Okay.
No, help me. These guys, which are basically Converse, but it's made out of a completely different material. I could rant about these guys. All right, let's go down.
For my
They're
streetwear, the
awesome.
Ultima Maritimes are my go-to.
Dude, those are so good. Those
very
are so
similar.
good.
So they're just like Vans, except where the front of your foot creases up like this.
Your toe crease.
Yep. So there's the classic Vans Converse toe crease.
Where it
that-
like clips it out. Oh, it's so bad.
That had pissed me off so many times.
Oh,
All
yeah,
my
same.
other Converse.
That's why I love these.
So the Ultimas, they cut that away, and it's a mesh. So if you are doing waterborne operations and you get water in there, and then you just get onto dry land, and all the water comes out.
I know, it's great. It's great. That's why I love these, because these have stitched in to where those creases are. Also, they have like triple and quadruple glued the sides of it, so no matter how much, it'll bend out this way, but it won't crease and completely separate. And the canvas that these are made with is so freaking durable. I mean, I've ridden my Saran and stuff like that so many times. These just don't want to die, and they're really breathable. They also come in like, for the Maritimes, or I guess for all Ultimas, they come in like 6 or 7 different colors. And we carry Ultimas actually, if you guys are looking for a pair. And then they carry a bunch of different colors of these as well, and they're so goddamn comfy. And as far as hiking boots, Loa. What are those Loa boots called that I have? The Zephyrs, the GTX Zephyrs, my combat boots. Those are probably gonna be my go-to hiking boots too, just because they're comfortable. The lugs are insane, super breathable. They're warm when needed to be, and the support that they give to me, at least for how I run and hike and stuff, is like top notch. So, what about you for hiking boots?
Mine is going to be for Solomon's. I'm currently using the Crosstrek 6s, and those are going to be an ankle height, and those are very breathable, but even in colder temperatures, they keep my feces very warm. Very happy with them.
Really?
They are, yes, they keep them very warm.
Okay.
They are not waterproof whatsoever, so that's the only downside about them, but they will keep me warm.
Zephyrs are waterproof. And funny enough, we carry those too. Insert plug, I guess. I will say the 2.0s, though, I would like to get a pair of the 2.0s that they dropped, Zephyrs, because they look a little bit more durable than most. So, let's see here. What would you guys recommend to do with an A&K LR300? Shove an F2 in it or make it a decent SSG? Shove an F2 in it. Be done with it. Life's easy. Done.
Well, I want to see what it is. I'm not familiar with that one. Maybe I'm not familiar by name.
I've seen BFG swap blank fire.
Oh.
My answer for which gun is AG with the boss unit. Dude, boss units are so cool. I love boss units. I wish I had my own. Tom's got one, and I use it whenever I can. And I'm very jealous that he has one. Hello, fam. Shout out to you guys. Hope to see you guys soon. Yes, sir, Dark Horse.
I fucks with that.
Yeah. It's cool. I love it.
It is.
Yeah, I miss you guys, too. I can't wait to see you guys the next one.
Same answer. Go with F2.
Yeah, F2, make it easy. Is if I try the Victos, that's what I rock. Victos are great. I actually have their trench foot slippers. I've been rocking those things as like my daily wear around like the house apartment. If I gotta go like run and grab groceries real quick down the street, and I'm not like out and about crazy like, the trench foot slippers are awesome because they're a slipper and you can push the back down because it's made out of canvas and turn into an actual slipper instead of like a moccasin style. Those are really great for camping as well. They're super, super lightweight. The Overbreach is also a good shoe. I used to have the Under Armour Baslets, or however you pronounce that as well. Those are sweet shoes. Will AMP be providing MVG rentals for GGP this summer at Zulu? I would assume we are. GGP at Zulu, I don't know what weekend that is. I can actually look that up real quick, unless eHouse beeps to it in the YouTube chat.
No. I'm with eHouse. I actually have a pair of gray Maritimes just for lifting as well.
Do you really lift with Maritimes?
Yeah.
How comfortable are those lifting like that? Because
They're-
I like these lifting because they're flat and they're sticky.
Yeah, so when we're doing the heavyweights, I'm using the Maritimes.
Oh,
You're
that's
using the
right. Yeah, that's
and then
right.
I have my running shoes when I'm doing more cardio stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have seen you look at those. I'm looking for that. I would assume that we're going to be there to do.
It's not on our website.
It's not on our website.
Not on ours, no.
Do you know when that event is?
What's it called again?
It's this summer at Zulu 24.
They don't have it up for tickets yet, unless it's the no. Unless it's the role playing one. I don't think so.
Where's New Windsor? Yep, that's it.
Oh, this is it. Math
Yeah.
one?
When is that? July what?
19th to the 20th.
Excellent. Thank you,
Oh, no,
E-House.
yeah, that's-
Yep. Cool. I would assume we are. But it's not up on our website yet. I will go ahead and talk to the powers that may be to get us out there because that I would assume if we are going to be there, we'd be providing those NPG rentals as well.
Hey, that's one I'm down for. A little role play.
Dude, I have not gone to a role playing Gun Gamers event yet. I'm craving to go to one of them. So I will hopefully be going there just to play on my own accord because that'd be sweet. I run the SBR version with some 3D printed stuff. Should be on my profile. I do not know what you're referencing to, Mr. Sir.
I think the LR300.
Oh, the LR300. Yes, that
I
is
can
it.
check it out.
Please do. I would love to go ahead and see it. Back over to YouTube. The Resident Airsoft. Everyone know how Airsoft is going to survive with the increase of import costs? I genuinely, and that's actually like a serious question now because that's kind of affecting everyone here. I genuinely think it's going to survive fine. I think the biggest thing that's going to change is the cost of entry when it comes to younger players and newer players. They're going to see it's going to be more expensive for now, and they're going to go ahead and see that things cost more money to keep up, and that's just going to dissuade them from playing or dissuade them from getting into the sport, which is going to kind of suck for bringing those new heads in. As far as the people that are already in the sport, if you're somebody like myself or Talon that have been in for years and are in, we're going to find a way to make it work. I don't want to say this is our livelihood, but it literally kind of is our livelihood at this point. I don't want to say we're professional airsofters by any means, but at when you break it down, like we go and play every weekend. We are doing this for you guys every week. We're just going to have to find a way to survive it. Things are going to get more expensive. I know there are companies working with workarounds, and there are talks being done, not just within companies, but within countries to figure out a way around the tariffs to make them less than what they've already been imposed upon, or what have they been proposed of. So I guess it's just a matter of time. Do I think Airsoft's going anywhere? I do not. I think that we're here to stay. Paintball's not dead yet, so if paintball's not dead yet, then Airsoft is not going to be dead anytime soon. It's just going to be a little more expensive. But if you're already spending, however much money it is to go to an AMS or an MSW, what's a couple extra bucks? I'm not going to say it like that, but at the same time, it's,
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that there's going to be less grenades thrown this year.
Yeah, there will be less pyro, considering I know some cost increases. My wallet is preemptively hurting. I'm sad for it, but what's your opinion on the whole tariff thing? It is pretty important for us to chat about for a little bit.
Yeah, it is going to increase the barrier of entry ever so slightly. I know that there's been talks about ways to offset those tariffs to import airsoft goods.
Yeah.
So we're trying to combat it as much as possible to keep that barrier of entry as low as possible so we don't see as many increases.
Yeah.
And then we're also trying to decide if it's just a knee-jerk reaction on the U.S. government about the tariffs, if maybe in a week or two that's just going to get pulled back and then, ooh, sorry guys, we actually weren't going to do it, or if it's going to be a long-term thing. That's something we're trying to sniff out before we make any hard decisions. But yeah, we're trying to make it as easy and still accessible for everyone as possible.
Yep. Depressing. Yeah. Depressing. But it is what it is. All right, do we have anything else on Meow's side? No? We have a couple other people leaving, just a couple other people joining. We have about 10 minutes left. I'm going to refresh YouTube in case YouTube's doing that thing where comments don't be loading as much as they should be. They are. Who won the giveaway? If you haven't seen it, it's a gentleman named Cameron. It's posted up earlier. You can also rewind just about 20 minutes. You'll be able to see those answers. So, Ooh, how excited are you for Blacksite this weekend, dude?
I'm pretty stoked about Blacksite.
Yeah, are you?
Blacksite's one of those like thriller event locations because it's that was it the Marine officer
Marines. It was the Marine officer camp.
that has been kind of like decommissioned. So it's kind of like that desolate kind of dystopian type of like futuristic kind of environment.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And with the building layouts, it's very unique and very different from any other type of urban environment. There's enough spacing between the buildings to where you can fight up to the buildings, get into the buildings, and start doing your room clearing stuff without having to worry about engagements from buildings next door if you're shooting through windows, stuff like that. So you can have kind of a concentrated building assault and clear before having to move on to the next one. And there's enough spacing between the buildings or between different compounds where you can have those longer distance, where you have to do a lot more maneuverability. So I think it's a very, very good mix. I do like and enjoy kind of that weird like open space underneath a lot of the buildings for
The lobby space, I call it.
Yeah, the lobby space.
Yeah.
Where for officer barrack, for barrack training, you have the ground floor having that concrete slab for everyone to line up, do their push-ups, get haze and whatnot. So you can see through all of the ground floor of the buildings.
Oh, easily, yeah.
So super easy to assault and like make sure no one's pushing up on you. It also makes it very, very creepy at night because that is like the super, super dark spots under night vision.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I'm very, very jealous that you get to go, and I'm missing out this year. The final year for Blacksite, unfortunately. I did see. I was rolling through. I think it was TikTok the other day, or not the other day. Yesterday, when I was out of my mind on medication, I'm like scrolling through, and I saw an SNL interview of Cat Williams, or not SNL, Jimmy Fallon interview of Cat Williams being talking about his purchase of McClellan, which was really funny to go ahead and like actually look. I'm like, huh, I know that place. Oh God, I know that place. So I'm jealous that you're going. I really am. I'm happy to be going where I'm going because my weekend's gonna be really fun as well. It's not Airsoft related, but I am bummed. Please take a lot of photos. Please make me very, very jealous.
Yes, I will.
And you guys are doing the night game on Friday as well. So this is the first time they're coming back with a night game, I believe, for AMS.
Yep.
Which was the best.
I'll be playtesting with a Crytek Mark III.
Yes, because we just got those in.
CBR.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I think it's right there, actually. I'm not even kidding you.
With the box and everything?
I think that's literally it. Tag should be
That
up
feels
on-
like it.
Yeah.
So try to run that thing into the ground. Try to stress test as much as possible for you guys so we can have as thorough of a review as possible. This is in conjunction with like event location stuff.
Okay. Well, what do you... I want to see this.
Okay.
Now, hold on. What is this?
So there's a YouTube channel that I follow called The Proper People, where they do a lot of urban exploration.
Is this GTI?
Yeah, so you
I
recognize
looked at it,
that?
I was like, I know that building. That's GTI.
Well, it's very funny that you didn't recognize that location immediately.
Because I've never been to GTI.
Really?
I've never once been to GTI. Every time I was supposed to go to a TCA event at GTI, and I got the flu. If anyone's watching makes fun of me for not going to Benghazi because I got COVID, I'm gonna kill them because I shut up. And then every other time I've just either had another event come up or like I wasn't able to financially make it. So maybe we should go to GTI one of these days.
GTI is really, really slick. I've been there a few times. It is so cool. You want to talk about...
What's the next GTI event? Is it next TCA event? Is that... I think
TCA does it the most often.
Does Mir go to GTI?
That I couldn't tell you 100%, just because I don't follow Mir that closely.
Well, I'm gonna look.
You can look. Resident Airsoft comment. The problem is that the U.S. doesn't manufacture anything. I myself am heavily invested in VFC, so I can buy overseas constantly. Hopefully Trump can make better deal with China in this trade war. So we've had, many years ago, a couple of people try to make airsoft equipment in the U.S. There was a company that was making Ares-esque airsoft replicas in the U.S., and they were several $100s, very close to $1,000 as far as a U.S. manufactured airsoft replica. So it's not an issue of we can't make airsoft replicas in the U.S. The issue is we don't have a long-term invested manufacturing process in the U.S. that owns a lot of the machining machines, and is able to get a lot of these components for internal and external parts at bulk price really, really low, where we can get away with that within the airsoft industry over in China and Taiwan. So as much as I am a huge proponent of buying things in the US, I try to stay off Amazon as much as possible, just so I can support as much of the local franchises as possible. There are still things that are kind of Amazon exclusive, so I have to just get things from Amazon every once in a while. And so it's the same thing with Airsoft. Everything's just based over there, so it's just the convenience factor of, because everything's over there, it's just gonna come from over there.
I guess we're gonna go to a TCA event for GTI. Following back up with the GTI comment.
What's the date?
They have a lot. We have to figure out what works with our dates. I would like to go to. I haven't been to a TCA event since Broken Dagger. That was at the University Park, Illinois, and that was a old sugar plant. That was back in holy crap and a half. I'm gonna sound old as shit when I say this, but 2016, maybe, when I for Op 34 1 was for AMS, because it was Op 34 1 and 2, and they also had Broken Dagger 1 and 2 at the same location. That was a really cool AO. Definitely not because it was 45 minutes from where I lived at that moment, but yeah, that was a cool AO. The second time, rained like crazy. We called that Op 34 inches of rain, and I've never seen more water in my entire life. More than Sochi, and I got a tattoo at Sochi to commemorate how much it rained. That was a wild, wild weekend.
Yes.
Frag says, hello, casuals. Go away, Frag. We don't love you.
Yeah.
September is the next
Oh my god!
is the next GTI event.
Oh no!
Is that just mine now?
That's Cameron's!
Well, Cameron can get a different one.
Oh no! We can't pick it up because
Yeah.
the metagods are gonna yell at us. Talon, you. I mean, it doesn't look broken. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
It ran off of this. But,
Oh. Okay. It looks fine.
we'll diagnose it. Oh, you're gonna destroy the table.
The table is on 3. Why would you ever get it? Why would you ever get a 3-legged table? Oh, Jesus Almighty, Talon. You know what's funny? So whenever I've sat in that chair, I'm always like, if I stretch, I'm gonna elbow it. But like, no, I'm gonna be more cognizant. I'm never gonna elbow it. The first time you're sitting in that chair,
Yeah.
you smack it.
It should be on the wall, right?
Well, I mean,
You would think it would sit. It should sit like a little bit lower on the wall as like a for sure presentation. I feel like that corner is a little dark.
I mean, maybe, but like, I also don't know if we have these any lower on the wall. Meta is gonna like auto AI it, because if like we throw our hands up or something like that, it'll clip it and grab it or whatever. Imagine calling anyone a casual when you weren't at Abcas. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What? I'm not calling anyone casual.
Side note: Has any info on Ali Talks Who is Ali Talks? I don't know who that is. Do you know who this person is?
The very top one is bowel cancer.
For what?
Who's
Ali
Ali?
Talks?
Airsoft vlog or
Oh, that sucks.
podcast guy.
Oh, that sucks. I don't want to say it like that insensitive, but like, oh, that's really unfortunate. And I hope he has a quick recovery, or whatever he's going through gets figured out. That really is unfortunate.
Yeah, talking about gas-powered replicas.
Mm.
Yeah, never want anyone to get cancer.
I think that's like a universal statement. I don't really want anyone to get cancer. I may have road rage, but I don't want someone to get cancer.
Oh, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
What a lovely note to end our live on. It not the note that Talon elbowed the P90.
Stress test.
Yeah.
Stress
test.
test.
Yay. We're definitely not gonna give that one to the kid, and definitely not throw in extra patches and stickers, because there's visual evidence of us absolutely elbowing the P90.
You say us.
Yeah, no, it was you. It was you. I'm happy it wasn't me because every single time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit. I'm just so happy it wasn't me, and I'm not the first person to do it. It's all I care about.
I will make sure Cameron gets a different P90.
We will make sure it's fine. We'll just give him that one.
No, I'm going to give him a different one.
No, we're gonna give him that one.
No, I'm going to give Cameron. I will handle Cameron and make sure he gets a
You sure?
brand new P90.
Mm-hmm.
Hold me to it.
I will send you a picture of the old one. It'll be good times. I'm pretty sure he actually passed. Damn it, Eric. I was trying to lift this up on a better note. That's unfortunate. Anyways, it is about that time. It's 1:59. It's 2 o'clock. Let's end it before anything else sad comes about. Let's see. Anything fun coming up? We have Black Sites. What?
Fall of South the weekend after.
Fall of Salsk.
Deadfall.
GGP. Deadfall, which I can't wait for. We have TRP at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's all I
And then that is going to be all of April. For May, all we have so far is Southern Front, and then we have Stag Out Spring Offensive, both of which I will be there. I cannot wait. Never been to Southern Front before. Actually, this will be my first time. And Stag Out Spring Offensive is always a good time. If you guys are looking for another great event producer out there, Stag Ops and Gun Gamers, top tier on this side of the country. I love them both so much. You're going to be at Black Site, so say hi to Talon if you guys are down there. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Ross, do you have anything to add that we should cover on?
Keep an eye on our Instagram for our next giveaway to be determined.
Yep, if you didn't hear that, next giveaway, we'll figure that out, and we will make sure that it does not get atomic elbowed off the TV.
That wasn't even atomic elbow. I can give the next one an atomic elbow.
No, because it's going to come out of your paycheck.
If you want to see an atomic elbow, I can give it.
No, I don't want to see an atomic elbow. It's
That
going to
was
come
an
out of your
accident.
paycheck.
Because that was an accident. I can definitely make sure it gets it.
All right, so the next giveaway is going to be a gun that's split in half. So on that note, we'll see you guys next week.